Well, hey guys, I'm here in Target, and wouldn't you know, Curology is now here. They have a skincare line, including a 2.5% benzoyl peroxide wash. Now, benzoyl peroxide, it's a great acne ingredient. It helps cut down on breakouts by targeting the acne-causing bacteria, Cutibacterium acnes. It can be really drying. One thing people don't realize is it can be equally effective using it in a wash form as it is using it in a product that you leave on the skin, but it's a lot less drying. While it's super drying and irritating, in some cases, it actually can be pretty helpful for people with rosacea to help cut down on the red bumps. So they got this in. It's their new cleanser, fragrance-free, 16 bucks. The Gentle Cleanser is $12.99. What does it have? This kind of looks like the Aveeno Moisturizing Daily Facial Cleanser. And then they got in a micellar makeup remover. I don't personally care for micellar water, they don't really work too well for me. I find they often burn my eyes. I prefer an oil cleanser or cleansing balm. If you have acne prone skin, you don't necessarily have to avoid oil cleansers or cleansing balms. They can still be useful, but some people don't like them, find that they aggravate their acne. It's kind of an individualized outcome, and they instead prefer things like micellar waters. Here we have a gel moisturizer, $15.99 for 1.7 ounces. Looks like a lightweight silicone-based lotion, and then they have a richer cream, presumably, here with shea butter. And then they have a kit, the starter set, that comes with a hydrocolloid patch. What do you get here? $24.99. So you get the Gentle Cleanser, the moisturizer, and then the hydrocolloid patch for 25 bucks. Looks like OGX came out with some new body washes, sea kelp and hyaluronic acid. Sea kelp, algae, marine extracts, they're very hydrating. They rival hyaluronic acid in their water binding abilities, especially depending on the formulation overall. Laminaria digitata extract, that's a marine extract. And, in moisturizing body washes, there's this technology that they use, coacervation. They actually can deposit the moisturizing ingredients on your skin. And that's great because with cleansing, it's wonderful. You're removing dirt, pollutants, presumably pollens, things that can be super irritating the skin, but you don't want to remove your healthy lipid barrier. So that's kind of the balance that body washes have to make. Looks like Up and Up came out with a generic version of the St. Ives oatmeal and shea butter. The St. Ives one is $3.99 for 22 ounces, and this one's $2.79 for 24 ounces. Shea butter is very moisturizing. Oatmeal is great in body washes. Slowly but surely, this preservative, methylchloroisothiazolone, it's kind of getting phased out for the most part, but you still find it in body washes and stuff. So that's unfortunate because it is a pretty common allergen, and there's so many other preservatives that are less sensitizing. The St. Ives one doesn't have that. So I would get the St. Ives one. I mentioned this in another recent video, except it was behind a cage, so we couldn't really see it. But Dove came out with this Acne Clear Salicylic Acid body wash. This is a good option if you have acne, obviously. It's a salicylic acid body wash, and it doesn't have that preservative, by the way. But this is also great if you get seborrheic dermatitis on the body, which, people think about seborrheic dermatitis as a facial eruption and then its cousin dandruff on the scalp, but it can happen anywhere on the body. And in deeper skin tones, it often heals with white spots, hypopigmentation. But it's just related to that little yeast that lives on everyone's skin, and some people mount an inflammatory response to that yeast that leads to this rash, and it can heal with a white mark in deeper skin tones. Inflammation can either lead to hyperpigmentation or it can take the pigment away. Once the inflammation goes down, once the seborrheic dermatitis is under control, that pigment will slowly go back to your normal skin tone. This is a great shave gel, by the way. It's the Up and Up version of the Aveeno one. I like it because it's moisturizing, as shave gels and creams should be. It creates a nice moisturizing barrier for the skin to protect it from the razor. Unfortunately, this one does have fragrance in it, whereas the Aveeno one, this Aveeno one is fragrance. Aveeno makes a fragrance-free one. The overall consistency of these is really nice. Gillette came out with an ultra sensitive. This one does have fragrance, lavender oil. I guess the ultra sensitive, maybe it's more lubricating. That's really the point. I mentioned this the last time I was in here though. The Smartly brand, these are really good. And they're very inexpensive. And they make a fragrance-free one, but it's never here. Check it out. Copper Tone came out with a new sunscreen. I may have to give this a try. It blends clear on all skin tones, no white residue. Okay, let's guess before I flip it over because I haven't seen the ingredients. Is this going to be a chemical sunscreen, a mineral sunscreen, or a hybrid sunscreen? I'm guessing chemical sunscreen. That is the right answer. In that case, pretty much all of their chemical sunscreens don't really leave a white residue, but anyway. Now, the SD alcohol on this might scare some people away from it, but actually it can help this be less greasy. See, the thing with sunscreen ingredients is that they're oil soluble. That's why they are always so shiny. The SD alcohol makes them less greasy, more fast absorbing, and feel more comfortable on the skin, especially when you are participating in sport. This looks like it would be a great one for like being outdoors, working out outside, because it's SPF 50 and water resistant. So this looks good. I kind of want to try it. And I love isododecane. I wonder what, I'm intrigued by this. This looks good. Coppertone also came out with a new facial sunscreen. Now you can use the body sunscreen on your face, but a lot of times the body sunscreens, similar to body creams, body lotions, they're thicker in consistency and that can feel very heavy on the face. Although that product, as I just pointed out, it has the SD alcohol in it, which likely makes it more fast absorbing. So I would definitely give it a try on your face. People who have oily skin or very sensitive skin, they may find that the heavier consistency is uncomfortable, or they don't like the way it looks, or it irritates their skin, but it's definitely worth a try. This looks like it's going to be similar to the Everytone one in the sense of it's a chemical sunscreen, so it should not leave a cast. It doesn't have fragrance, and it does have alcohol. This one has alcohol denaturant, so it should be fast absorbing, non-greasy. SPF 45. I mean, the difference of 5 on the SPF is nothing. I wouldn't get hung up on that. Coppertone also has some new kids sunscreens. They have a spray, which is 100% mineral. Now, a spray, you've got to be careful to do multiple passes because these are prone to skip areas. But they're a reasonable option. Also, make sure that you're not using them outdoors when there's like a lot of wind, because you won't end up getting much on your skin. You only get, technically, if you're using this like at the beach or something, this is only going to be 5 total body applications worth in this can for $10. They also came out with a stick with the blue color, so you can see. I like that because, like I said, same thing with the sprays. The sticks are also prone to skip areas where you miss. So it's kind of nice to see the blue. Oh wait, is this a stick? I thought it was, but it says shake well before using. Oh, this is a roll-on. Okay, like a deodorant, but sunscreen, zinc. This would be good like for reapplying on kids, especially small children that are wiggly. The sticks and things can be helpful. This was just here. Oh, here they are. Okay. These are really good. I have a full review of these. If you missed it, definitely check it out because these are currently my all-time favorite right now. I'm loving. I wear the shades. I can get away with wearing the shade medium and light. Medium deep, which they don't have here, but they have a medium deep. That is a little too bronzy for me. Now here at Target, they're all $16.99, which is great because on Amazon, for the longest time, the deep shade was like $20 and the other ones were $16.99. A few days ago, now that I'm filming this, on Amazon they went down to $12.99. So check on Amazon, because you know how Amazon is. They toggle around with the prices. But some of these were $12.99, so they might be less expensive than Target. Oh wow, Australian Gold. Okay. If you've been here a while, you know my saga with this. I would love to love it, but for whatever reason, it irritates my skin. But do they come out with new shades of this? I feel like it used to just be one shade. This one says for deep skin tones, and then they have medium to tan, and they also have fair to light. And it looks like this does not have the cockadoo plum, which I always thought was what was irritating my skin. And I always found this product, or their tinted sunscreen, to be very drying. The price on these is not bad. $13.99 to $13.69 for 3 ounces. It's significantly less expensive than the Neutrogena one. Now this is one of my favorites. No cast, very moisturizing, not greasy, $9.99 for the 3 ounces. This one's really good. These are all of their sunscreens I like, but you can't beat the price on this. $10 for 3 ounces. It's a great facial sunscreen, and you can use it on the body too. But I don't know that it's such a great value for the body, because it's 3 ounces, $10, as opposed to the copper tone one, which is probably going to look similar on the body, $8.99 for 7 ounces. Like, I would go with something like that for the body, and this for the face for the maximum value. Or, you know, like I said earlier, if you tolerate using that on the face, then that's going to be your most that's going to be your most cost-effective option if you could tolerate it on the face and you like it. Now, Sun Balm has clear sunscreen lotion, SPF 50, kids. Ignore the kids marketing. You know, adults can use that. And likewise, like this, I mean, a kid can use this. Honestly, there's nothing about this that is strikingly different than this for a child. The main difference, I guess, is that this has fragrance. So maybe your kid likes the scent of this and is more willing to wear it. But there's nothing ingredient-wise that makes this specifically for or against kids. You know what I mean? So don't worry about that. But this likely does not leave a cast. So it's a chemical sunscreen. It shouldn't. But it does have fragrance, which is a common allergen, especially in sunscreens. So I would go with the copper tone. Copper tone is winning here. And I mean, they're winning as far as price, ingredients, and likely cast acceptance. CeraVe has not come out with a new sunscreen in a while. They need to catch up with everybody else. They need to come out with some more tinted sunscreens. We've had the same one from them for a couple of years now, and it doesn't work out for everybody. All right, is that the tinted one? Yeah, that's a tinted one. $13.99. It's less expensive than the Neutrogena one, but you only get that one shade, and for some people it's too orange. But like the Neutrogena one, it is very hydrating, gives like a nice healthy dewy glow. It's not like super greasy or shiny. Now their hydrating mineral sunscreen SPF 50, that is a casty sunscreen. There is a cast to that. It's not as bad as some, but it's going to leave a white cast, FYI. Kids sunscreen stick. Again, this is one that you have to make sure you're not skipping areas. So do a couple of passes, and then make sure after you've rubbed it on the skin with a couple of passes that you physically rub it in with your hands to really get it blended in well. This is a reasonable option. No problem with that. It's a chemical sunscreen. It shouldn't leave a cast. I can't believe these ridiculous products still exist. Like, what are we living in? The 70s? Like, this is glorified baby oil and lemon juice right here. I say that because the problem with these is like SPF 4, that's not enough. But for some people, it may be enough to delay burning and make you stay out longer and get that deep tan. The problem is that deep tan is UVA destruction. Like tanning is a form of skin injury. These kind of products are nefarious. I don't know why they still exist. I mean, this, like for example, SPF 8, that's not really adequately protecting anyone from anything. It's just, like I said, it kind of encourages you to stay out too long. And I say, like, what is this, the 60s or 70s? Because not only was tanning, like, super popular back then, but we had really crummy sunscreens that encouraged people to stay out longer than necessary. And the sunscreens that we had back then did not adequately protect against UVA rays. So people were getting a lot of UVA exposure. As a result, now that they are in their older years, they're making a lot of skin cancers. So whenever people on social media like to bring up how skin cancer rates have been increasing ever since sunscreen came out, that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is that we have more people in the age group over 65, and those individuals are just, as a whole, more likely to make skin cancers. That's just a fact. Anyway, these are bad. This is new, Welly. I mean, I've seen Welly here at Target before, but these are new. Because Welly, I think, is like, they used to have a little tin I would see here of first aid products, but what do we have? I'm talking a lot because there's some overhead music that I don't want to have to play. I don't want to have to play copyright-free music over. Okay, they have a eczema body cream. These are not appearing to be super inexpensive. So this better have something magic. I mean, colloidal oatmeal, you can get that from Aveeno. $16 for 7 ounces versus Aveeno $8.79 for 18 ounces. I'm really not, there's really not a strong pull for this other than this cute, like, waistline of the bottle. All right, what's the firming body cream? $15.99 for 7 ounces. Glycerin, shea butter, caffeine. Did I see that? Or am I just dreaming of coffee? Yeah, caffeine. Now, caffeine is an antioxidant, and it can temporarily improve like redness, dark under eye circles, and an eye cream. But improves the appearance of skin elasticity in 2 weeks. I guarantee this will as well. I mean, skin will look more elastic when the moisture content is improved, and you can get that from using a moisturizer. This looks good, but like I said, I just don't see it. I just don't see it bringing enough to the table to justify this over like these. Like Aveeno Tone and Texture, $11.99 for 18 ounces, and this has polyhydroxy acids in it, which can soften and gently exfoliate and improve the moisture content, giving a skin firming effect. You have shea, you have glycerin. I mean, I don't really see why you would, I mean, unless you just like the waistline on the bottle. Now this seems good in a sense that these sprays are really helpful for body acne. And salicylic acid is, like I said earlier, great for acne as well as seborrheic dermatitis on the body. But it can be hard to get it to areas like on your back, for example, in the case of back acne. So sprays are helpful. Differin makes a salicylic acid spray. I don't know how the price compares though. Then we have their dry and itchy body lotion. Does this have like anything in it that specifically targets itch other than the moisturizing ingredients? It doesn't. Now, CeraVe makes an itch relief moisturizing lotion. There it is. $13.49 for 8 ounces versus Welly's itch body lotion is $15.99 for 7 ounces. But the CeraVe one has Pramoxin in it, which will temporarily numb the itch signals, calm down itch. This doesn't have Pramoxin. What is Welly bringing to the table besides a waistline at this point? This Rough and Bumpy body lotion, 5.2% AHAs for skin renewal. This better bring something that amlactin is not, and it doesn't really appear to. Lactic acid is great for skin texture and improving skin moisture retention. It's great for keratosis pilaris, but again, you could go with amlactin and it's going to be more affordable. Although some people comment they don't like the smell of the amlactin. In that case, you may prefer Welly. I don't know. This $16.99, 16 ounces. This is a better price point compared to the other ones. It looks like a nice, simple, straightforward moisturizer. See, here we're bringing in gluconolactone. That's a polyhydroxy acid. So here we're competing with with Tone and Texture, which also has a polyhydroxy acid. But Tone and Texture is still much cheaper. $11.99 for 18 ounces versus $16.99 for 16 ounces. These are all look really good, except the price. Ooh, who doesn't love a tin of whipped shea butter? Lavender scent, $10.29. Look how cool that is. That logo. Now, obviously, lavender is fragrance, common allergen in skincare products, but this kind of, you know what this looks like? Like the bougier version of Bag Balm, because it's in a square tin, a prettier version of Bag Balm. But in contrast to Bag Balm, this is just shea butter. Bag Balm has lanolin, which is fine. It comes from sheep's fleece. It's very moisturizing, but some people are allergic to it, so just be aware of that. With Bag Balm, and likewise Aquaphor has lanolin. This sunscreen for the lips, by the way, from Aquaphor is a pretty good deal. It's nice. I'm currently using it myself. Beiersdorf. Suavemento. What does Suave have out these days? Advanced Therapy Hydro. I'm intrigued. I'm hoping that this looks like, please don't have fragrance, because if it doesn't, this is going to be a great affordable option for, like, oh shoot, there it is, for eczema. And you know, if you're not allergic to fragrance and you don't have atopic dermatitis, you don't have to flee from fragrance. I prefer to not have it, but if you are allergic, you have to avoid it, so this is useless to you. But you can't beat that price, $4.69. I wish they came out with a fragrance-free one. Come on, Suave. Ooh, speaking of eczema, what has Vaseline done here with their Deep Moisture Body Cream? This is new. Petrolata. This looks good. It's a body cream. This is a great value. $2.59. I have even a reel pointing this out because I think it's such a great... This is the one that I was hoping Suave would step up to, but it has not, because it's an unscented body lotion, great for everyday moisturizing, which is, I mean, if you have atopic dermatitis, it's important to prevent flares to be consistent with moisturizing. And so once things get under control, you may prefer a more lightweight lotion over a heavier cream. And this is a really, I mean, you can't beat this price. No nonsense ingredient list. Now, what has Vaseline done here? Sensitive skin relief. Hypoallergenic is a marketing term. It usually means that the product is free of common allergens, but not necessarily. You still have to read the ingredients. For example, I've seen hypoallergenic products that have fragrance in them, a common allergen. I've seen hypoallergenic products that have the isothiazolinones, another common allergen. And so if you just pick that up at face value and you have allergies to those, you're screwed. But this, as the name implies, does appear to be free of common allergens. Colloidal oatmeal is great for dry skin. It's great for eczema. It's very soothing. And it has antioxidants. It can help with the skin barrier. Shea butter is nice for reducing water loss. Glad to see that. Now, the Dry Hands Rescue is this. What makes this more for hands is basically the packaging, the 5 ounces. 5 ounces just seems to be packaging for a hand cream, but honestly, you could use the Deep Moisture Body Cream on your hands. If you're willing to tote that around, then that's going to be a much better value for you than buying the smaller tube, but maybe you're not so willing to tote it around, in which case you may be willing to spend more for a smaller tube, which sounds ridiculous, but if you're like in healthcare or you frequently wash your hands, you do need to stay on top of moisturizing, so it's a delicate balance. And That's not an insane price point. Looks like Nivea came out with something new. Intense Healing Pro Vitamin B5. Panthenol is a B vitamin. Check out my recent video on signs of vitamin deficiency. We go over a lot of the B vitamins, including panthenol, but in skincare products, it is a moisturizing ingredient. It's hydrating. It helps with improving moisture content in the skin. This has fragrance in it, so stay away from that if you have allergies. Well, Target did not disappoint. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. On the inside, I'm going to link my last Target Shop With Me video, so watch that one next because I talked about a ton of stuff in that video. But if you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!